Jim in Boston, welcome. You're next on Nightside. How are you, Jim?
Hey, how you doing, Jordan?
Great, man. How are you?
Excellent. I really enjoyed the call earlier about the drug war. The guy that wrote the book.
Yeah, he was really cooking. I wanted to take a breath there. I couldn't get one in, but he was really intense. I appreciated his call. What do you think?
I think he's right on. I think he's talked about Amsterdam and these other countries for 30 years. I think, look at Massachusetts. We're, by the government's own studies, we're #1 in the country in terms of marijuana use.
Is that right? I didn't know that.
And actually, we're #1 in the world when you look at it. And it's because of prohibition. And when you look at, the tobacco program in the state, it actually worked over 30 years. Kids, teens and adults, use is down. You can't force treatment on people. You can't arrest people. But when you offer it and you offer education and, when someone wants the treatment on demand, that works.
Well, I think you make a good point about education, because it's perfectly reasonable when you look at how smoking has declined. When they started using education and money to educate the public and kids, you saw smoking rates drop, and they've been dropping. Now, drugs are a different story because, you can't, I know you can look at different studies where this is good, this is bad, but, recreational use drugs, people are going to say, well, it's not hurting anybody if I just do it on my own. Who am I hurting, and why should I be thrown in jail for that? And I think there's a point to be made. I just worry about letting everything go, and, for people who are addicted, have addictive personalities, it just makes it that much easier for them to become hooked.
I think at least it postpones it, and I think the law doesn't ever stop anyone. If someone's going to get involved in that stuff, there are, maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe there's 1 out of 50 people that will say no because it's illegal. But, those folks usually aren't going to be involved in drugs even if they are illegal. Those are the same people that don't drink and they don't smoke, and those are legal things too. And, for the most part, what you find is that it postpones it. Kids today, you go to any high school in Massachusetts, any public high school, I'm a product of that. I'm a little older, I'm, almost 40, but you ask any of these kids, they can get you a bag of marijuana or even cocaine before they can get a case of beer.
Well, that's true, and my wife is a teacher, and I know a little bit about what's going on in high schools because of her career, and also because I was a kid too, so I know that kind of thing. Do you disagree or agree that with the caller and with others about the gateway issue, the gateway drug issue?
No. I mean, what's a gateway? Milk, coffee, sugar? I mean, it's, if you look at the gateway issue for marijuana, for instance, and most people who have tried, I think it's 50, 60, 80 million people in the United States have tried cannabis. Less than 500,000 hardcore drug addicts. Most people that smoke cannabis don't go on to other hard stuff. In fact, there have been studies that shown actually usually, if they like the cannabis, they stay with that for the rest of their lives. And a lot of them actually don't like it, so they don't try anything else.
Jim, I don't want to sound naive. This is just because I'm not an expert in this area, but doesn't one have to ask, why do people gravitate towards alcohol and drugs in the first place? Beyond, all right, there are certain people just thrill seekers. They want to get high, they want to have a buzz and all that. But I contend that there are many, many more people who are self-medicating, okay? And they're, for whatever reason, I mean, it could be physical, it could be emotional. And it's almost like we don't address the reasons why people become addicted. You agree?
Absolutely. I do agree. Yeah. I agree with that 100%.
Yeah. And I'm not suggesting that people who drink, which is legal, are immoral, or even people